यहाँ पे थोड़ा नेटवर्क इश्यू.
Okay. Okay. In our last lectures, we have seen how to calculate the equivalent weight. We have seen what is meant by a disproportionation reaction. And in the disproportionation reaction, how to calculate the overall Z factor of that particular reagent as an oxidizing agent, Z factor of that particular reagent as a reducing agent, and the overall Z factor. Overall Z factor के लिए आपको 1 upon overall Z factor is nothing but 1 upon Z factor as an oxidizing agent plus 1 upon Z factor as a reducing agent. You can use this formula, or else you can use in the overall reaction, see for the total number of electrons exchanged. If you see for the total number of electrons exchanged, then you can calculate the overall Z factor. Like in this particular case, what are the total electrons exchanged? The total electrons exchanged are 10 electrons. So the number of electrons exchanged per molecule will be 10 upon 6. So the overall Z factor will become 10 upon 6. You can also get that using the half reactions or using the Z factors of oxidizing agent and reducing agent. 1 upon overall Z factor is 1 upon Z factor as a reducing agent and Z factor as an oxidizing agent. अभी हमने इसमें क्रॉस चेक किया क्या? इसमें Z factor as an oxidizing agent is 2, Z factor as a reducing agent is 10. So 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 2 is equals to 1 upon overall Z factor. So you will again get that as 10 upon 6. Okay. You can either do this, you can write the individual half reactions. Half reactions में Z factor as a reducing agent, Z factor as an oxidizing agent. You can calculate that, right? Once you get that, you can calculate the overall Z factor, or you can write the complete reaction. Complete reaction में total number of electrons per molecule कितना है देखो. That will become the overall Z factor of I2. Agreed?
हाँ sir.
Okay. So please solve this question. We will go to the next concept. Calculate the equivalent weight of H3PO2. If they are asking the equivalent weight of H3PO2, they are in a way asking the overall equivalent weight, not the equivalent weight as an oxidizing agent, as a reducing agent. If you observe, this is a disproportionation reaction. Can anyone tell me the oxidation state of phosphorus in H3PO2?
+1.
+1. Okay. pH3 में?
-3.
-3. H3PO3 में?
+3.
+3. So +1 converting into +3 and -3, it is a disproportionation reaction. So calculate the equivalent weight of H3PO2 in this reaction first.
(67/4).
67/4. ठीक है. H3PO2 का वेट है 67 है क्या?
हाँ सर.
Weight of H3PO2 67. Okay. चेक करते हैं. What you can write is H3PO2 converting into PH3. First you need to balance all the atoms. Phosphorus balanced है, hydrogen भी balanced है. इस साइड आपको you need to add 2H2O. And in this direction you need to add 4H positive. So in order to balance the electrons, you need to add 4 electrons here. So in case mein it is accepting electrons. As it is accepting electrons, it is getting reduced, or I can say this particular half is reduction half.
हाँ सर.
Yeah, it is an oxidizing agent, or this half is reduction half. Okay, so in the oxidation half, I can write H3PO2 converting into H3PO3. So लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में आपको एक H2O ऐड करने की जरूरत है. On the right hand side you need to add 2H positive plus 2 electrons. You need to multiply this by 2. Agreed? So what will be the overall reaction? Please tell me the overall reaction. It has to be 3H3PO2.
हाँ सर.
3H3PO2 plus 4H positive इस साइड है, उस साइड पे 4H positive है, दोनों कैंसिल हो जाएगा. H positive कैंसिल हो जाएगा ना?
हाँ सर.
हाँ सर.
तो H positive कैंसिल हो गया तो आपको you are left with H2O. On the left hand side you have 2H2O. यहाँ पे भी आपको 2H2O है, H2O भी कैंसिल हो जाएगा. So it is 3H3PO2 gives rise to CH3 plus
H3PO3.
2H3PO3. I hope this is balanced then. It is balanced, right? Okay. So in this, what are the total electrons exchanged?
4.
Total electrons are
4.
4. So number of electrons per molecule of H3PO3 कितना होगा?
4/3.
4/3.
हाँ सर. 99/2 आता है आंसर.
So Z factor is 4/3. Aditya, the Z factor is not 4, it is 4/3.
हाँ
So
सर.
what will be the equivalent weight? Equivalent weight is
67
equals
into
to
3/4.
molecular weight upon Z factor, which is equals to 67 upon 4/3, which is equal to 67 into 3/4. Okay, 67 into 3/4. You can also calculate the Z factor, overall Z factor. 1/Z effective is equals to, yeah,
सर हमें H3PO3 का करना है ना? H3PO2 का, सॉरी.
H3PO2 का करना है.
4/2 है.
66 आते हैं मॉलिक्यूलर.
66 है क्या? 66 है H3PO2 का.
हाँ सर. नहीं 67 ही आएगा.
Phosphorus it is
31.
31 plus 3 34.
63 और फिर वो हाइड्रोजन का 3 मतलब 66.
66 है. It has to be an even number. 34 plus oxygen का 32 है ना. 66 है आदित्य. एक बार क्रॉस चेक कर
हाँ
लेना.
सर समझा.
Okay.
पर मॉलिक्यूल के यहाँ पे आपने H3PO3 लिखा.
Okay. यहाँ पर molecule of H3PO2. Sorry. H3PO2.
2.
This is 66 upon 4/3. Which is 66 into 3/4 gram per equivalent. I can also calculate the overall Z factor as Z as an oxidizing agent plus 1 upon Z as a reducing agent. Reduction half mate is acting as oxidizing agent now. What is Z as an oxidizing agent?
2.
4 na? Number of electrons exchanged per molecule 4. Okay. यहाँ पे number of electrons exchanged per molecule they are 2. 1/4 plus 1/2, which is equal to 3/4 हो गया 1/z effective.
हाँ सर.
Okay, so you can either calculate using the overall expression. In the overall expression, we will be knowing the number of electrons, total electrons exchanged, which is equal to 4. So per molecule देख लेना. Or you can also calculate by 1/z effective is equals to 1/z as an oxidizing agent plus 1/z as a reducing agent. Agreed? Okay, just understand the logic. Okay, next section, titrations. So in general, we have two types of titration. First of all, let us understand what is meant by titration. Okay, titration is an experimental procedure for finding out concentration of an unknown substance with the help of concentration of a known substance. Okay, you will be given two substances. For one of the substance, you will be knowing the concentration. For the other substance, you won't be knowing the concentration. Concentration matlab either it can be normality or molarity. Okay, if you know normality, you can find molarity by multiplying it by Z factor. If you know molarity, you can also find normality. Okay, you can do either of the things. So you will be finding the concentration of unknown substance with the help of concentration of known substance. You will be given two substances. One of the substance, its concentration will be known. The other substance concentration will be unknown. And जिस substance का concentration unknown है, उसका volume हमें पता होगा. Okay, what we will do is we will do the reaction between these two substances. What is the end point of any reaction? The end point of any reaction is nothing but equivalence of one substance must be equal to equivalence of another substance. Agreed?
Yes,
If A and B are reacting, for complete reaction, equivalence of A must be equal to equivalence of B. This is according to equivalent concept. Okay. So what we are going to do is, first of all, let us see the definition of titration. Titration is a common lab method of quantitative chemical analysis that is used to determine the unknown concentration of a known reactant. Okay, वो reactant क्या है हमें पता है, but उसका concentration हमें नहीं पता है. Okay, so in any titration we have two things, titer and titrant. Titer मतलब the substance whose concentration is unknown. The substance whose concentration is to be determined, and it is called as titer. The titer is taken in conical flask. इस conical flask के अंदर we will be taking some volume of it. This is conical flask. Titrant मतलब the substance whose concentration is known, and this is used to determine the concentration of this substance. Titer का concentration find करने के लिए the thing which we use is called as titrant. Okay, titrant we will be taking this in burette. This is called as burette. I hope आपने अपने 10th class में पढ़ा ही होगा burette. We will be filling the known substance whose the substance whose concentration is known inside this particular burette, and we will be introducing this known substance inside this conical flask dropwise. Okay, end point of titration का मतलब क्या होगा? When the equivalence of this titrant equals to the equivalence of this titer, that is called as end point. At end point, what is the equation which we can apply? What is meant by equivalence? Equivalence is equals to normality into volume in liters. Okay, so at end point, what I can do is N1V1 of titer must be equal to N2V2 of titrant. मतलब आपको करना क्या है? You need to introduce the titrant dropwise into this conical flask. Whenever it achieves endpoint, at that particular endpoint, what is the equation? The equivalence of titer must be equal to equivalence of titrant. Okay. So whenever you, yeah, tell me.
मैं कैसे पता चलेगा end point?
Exactly. So whenever you are introducing this, how can you realize that N1V1 became equal to N2V2? We cannot realize this, right? इस conical flask के अंदर तो दिखेगा नहीं N1V1 वो equation तो नहीं दिखेगा, right? So for that, what we use is an indicator. Indicator का काम क्या होगा? The purpose of indicator is when the reaction achieves the endpoint. Endpoint का मतलब क्या है? N1V1 equal to N2V2. at that particular instant it will be changing its color. Whenever the color is changed, we will stop the reaction. Stop the reaction matlab we will no longer introduce the titrant into this conical flask. तब तक जितना भी आप वॉल्यूम ऐड किया है, that is the volume of the titrant used. इसके अंदर जितना भी वॉल्यूम लिया है, that is the volume of the titer. इसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन हमें ऑलरेडी पता है, इसका वॉल्यूम पता है एंड इसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑलरेडी पता है. So N1V1 we will be equating that to N2V2. When will we stop the reaction? Whenever there is a color change in the reaction. You will be introducing slowly through the burette. Whenever you are seeing a color change, you will stop the reaction and you will use the equation N1V1 equal to N2V2. Is this clear?
हाँ
We
सर.
will see how exactly the indicator will work. We will see types of indicators also. What is the purpose of titration? The purpose of titration is to find the unknown concentration of some known reactant with the help of known concentration of other reactant. Okay. Age of particular chapter, this is redox, right? So in this case, the reactants will be, one will be the oxidizing agent and the other will be the reducing agent. If you want to find the concentration of the oxidizing agent, you will be taking the oxidizing agent in the conical flask and you will be introducing the titrant. You will be introducing the reducing agent through burette. If you want to find the concentration of the reducing agent, you will be taking that reducing agent in the conical flask and you will be introducing the oxidizing agent through this burette. Is this clear? What is the end point of titration or what is the equivalence point? It is nothing but where the equivalence of oxidizing agent equal to the equivalence of reducing agent. Basically, there are two types of titrations. The acid-base titrations, we will be understanding this in the chapter of ionic equilibrium. In this chapter, we are trying to understand redox titrations. Acid-base titration matlab kya hoga? You will be taking the acid or base whose concentration is to be known in the conical flask and uska opposite solution. Matlab isme acid liya to you will be introducing base through burette. Isme base liya to you will be introducing acid through burette. Okay. And what is the end point in that case where the equivalence of acid equal to equivalence of base? And what is the reaction that is going to happen in that case? It is the neutralization reaction. Is redox titration mein you will be adding reducing agent and the oxidizing agent, and the reaction among them will be the redox reaction. Is this clear? So equivalence point of any titration, may it be an acid-base titration or a redox titration. What we need to do is we need to equate equivalence of the reagent which is present in conical flask equal to the equivalence of the reagent that is added through the burette. And ye kab kaise pata chalega hame? With the help of an indicator. The indicator will be changing its color whenever this equation is satisfied. Is this clear? Okay. Indicators जो है, indicator का काम exactly कैसे होता है यहाँ पे देखते हैं. It is a substance used for the detection of completion of the reaction. It signals end point of the titration. And ये जो indicator है, we will be introducing it in very less amount. एक drop या दो drops डालेंगे. Before the equivalence point, system के अंदर क्या क्या है? You have titer and the indicator. It will be having some color one. Okay. At equivalence point होता क्या है? The entire titer will be reacting with entire titrant, so you will be left with only indicator. Okay. Immediately after the equivalence point, you will be introducing some small drop of titrant. So after the equivalence point, you will be having titrant plus indicator. Before the equivalence point inside the system, you are having conical flask में वो जो titer लिया है वो रहेगा और indicator रहेगा, and it will be showing some color one. At equivalence point, entire titer will be reacting with entire titrant, so you will be left with only indicator. So there can be some transition of color. Okay, and you need to add some extra drop of the titrant in order to have color 2. So in a way, what you are doing is जितना चाहिए हमें titration के लिए उससे थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही डाल रहे हैं आप लोग. But that much amount won't be affecting our calculation. उतना ज़्यादा significance नहीं होगा. The amount that उस drop में जो भी equivalence of titrant रहेगा, they will be very very less, right? So there will be some error in our calculation. Actual equivalence point क्या होना चाहिए? N1V1 must be equal to N2V2. But actual में हम डाल कितना रहे? ये वॉल्यूम HON2V2 उससे ज्यादा एक ड्रॉप एक्स्ट्रा ही डाल रहे हैं. Okay, so in the volume calculation you will be writing N2 into the volume added. The volume is the volume that is required for the complete equivalence point plus the extra drop you have added. Is this clear?
Yes.
Everyone, please put your video on. Those who can put your video on, please put your video on. नहीं तो मुझे लग रहा है मैं खुद को देख के समझा रहा हूँ. Okay. Is this logic clear here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. ये जो पर्टिकुलर एक्स्ट्रा ड्रॉप के वजह से जो भी कैलकुलेशन में एरर रहेगा, it will be very very less. There will definitely be an error. Definitely. So इसलिए आप लोग इंट्रोड्यूस करते समय you should also be aware जितना डाल रहे हैं आप लोग. You need to put the titrant drop wise. ऐसा एक साथ इतना ज्यादा छोड़ मत देना. Because you may not know when the color has changed. You need to introduce the titrant dropwise and you need to see for the color change. Okay? And whenever there is a color change, in the system you have some extra amount of titrant. पूरा इसके साथ titrant के साथ जितना चाहिए उतना react होने के बाद थोड़ा amount बच गया है. That amount with the indicator will be showing some color too. Is this clear? Okay? Okay. ये जो indicators है, they are also of different types. One is called as self indicator and the other is called as external indicator. एक बार उसके बारे में भी समझ लेते हैं. Everyone, there is a question here. I am having H2C2O4. Suppose if I am taking this, everyone concentrate here. H2C4 is the reducing agent. Suppose मान लेते हैं H2C2O4 को conical flask में ले रहा हूँ. Okay. And KMnO4 जो है I am taking that inside the burette. KMnO4 solution जो है उसका natural color रहेगा purple to pink. Okay. If it is solid KMnO4, its color is purple. If it is aqueous KMnO4, the color is purple to pink. This KMnO4 can act as self-indicator. Self-indicator मतलब no need to add an external indicator in order to identify the endpoint of the reaction. मतलब क्या है? Everyone understand this? H2C2O4 अभी conical flask में है. You are adding KMnO4. Adding KMnO4. That KMnO4 is reacting with H2C2O4. So जितना भी मैं डाल रहा हूँ, it is getting consumed. So the color of the conical flask or the color inside the conical flask won't be affected. Agreed? Okay. ये कब तक चलता जाएगा? Unless and until all the equivalents of H2C2O4 are consumed by KMnO4. Agreed? So at equivalence point, what will happen? The reducing agent equivalents will be exactly equal to the equivalence of KMnO4. At this particular instant, there won't be any color change, but the reaction has came to an end. इसके बाद हम थोड़ा सा एक drop extra add करेंगे. Whenever I'm adding that extra drop, that KMnO4 won't be reacting with H2C2O4 क्योंकि अभी H2C2O4 पूरा consume हो गया है. Okay, that extra drop of KMnO4 will be showing that purple pink color. And the concentration of as low as 10⁻⁻6 molar. 10⁻⁻6 molar मतलब बहुत कम है. उतना कम concentration पे भी you can clearly see a color. Okay. So if you are adding some small drop of KMnO4 after the equivalence point, there will be a change in color. So हमको क्या लगेगा? You have achieved the equivalence point. उसके बाद एक extra drop add करना पड़ा. Then that has resulted in the color change. Is this clear? In the calculations, what we will include is this N1V1 is equal to the entire volume. There will be some error. Actually, इस volume से थोड़ा कम ही होगा. Equivalence point achieve होने के लिए. Agreed? Okay. But calculation में error जो भी रहेगा उस particular value डालने के वजह से, the error will be very very less. One important point is you can never calculate the exact molarity or the exact normality of any given solution. There will always be some error using these titrations. In our 12th class, we will be seeing another type of titration called conductometric titration. With the help of that titration, you can exactly calculate the normality or molarity. So those titrations, we will see the concepts involved in those titrations later. but there is a titration called conductometric titration, because of which you can calculate the exact concentration without any error. In these titrations, redox titrations or acid-base titrations, there will definitely be an error, but the error will be very, very less, 0.1%, yeah, 0.01%. The percentage error will be very less. Is this clear?
हाँ सर.
Everyone? Okay.
Yes.
That is called as self indicator. External indicator मतलब क्या हो जाएगा? That external indicator can also react with the oxidizing agent that is being added. Suppose K1O4 नहीं है, K2Cr2O7 add कर रहा हूँ. K2Cr2O7 उसके लिए external indicator लगता है. I will be giving that notes later. You can read that notes. You can easily understand. External indicator का काम क्या है? Initially, you will be having H2C2O4 plus the indicator. Whenever I am adding the opposite solution, मतलब यहाँ पे reducing agent है ना? Whenever I am adding an oxidizing agent, first it will be reacting with H2C2O4. Okay. After endpoint, at equivalence point, what will happen? The entire H2C2O4 will be consumed. After the equivalence point, I will be adding one more drop, right? One more drop of oxidizing agent. That oxidizing agent will be reacting with the indicator. वो indicator से react करके उसका color change करेगा. Okay. Before the equivalent endpoint, it is reacting with the H2C2O4. After the equivalence point, the indicator वो जो भी drop है, that drop will be reacting with the added oxidizing agent. As a result, whenever it is getting reacted, its nature got changed. So the different nature product will be having a different color. Initially एक color रहेगा, reaction होने के बाद और एक color आएगा. Initially it may be colorless as well. Okay. Always you need to add indicator only few drops, only one drop is sufficient. If you are adding more drops, what will happen? In order to have the color change, you need to add more and more amount of K1O4 or the oxidizing agent. जितना ज़्यादा ऐड करेंगे, ये जो वॉल्यूम में एरर उतना ही ज़्यादा हो जाएगा ना. So while performing the titration, you should be very, very careful. You need to add only 1 to 2 drops of indicator, and you need to introduce the opposite solution drop wise through burette. Is this clear? Okay. This is experimentally. For solving questions, आपको करना क्या है? Blindly, you need to apply only one equation. Equivalence of oxidizing agent must be equal to the equivalence of reducing agent. Clear? Okay. So please, यहाँ पे आप लोग equivalence point के लिए, what you can do is, you can say N1V1 must be equal to N2V2, or M1V1Z1 equal to M2V2Z2. Can you tell me Z1 and Z2 in this equation? Tell me the values of Z1 and Z2 for this given reaction. H2C2O4 जो है,
2.
it is converting into CO2. You need to write this as 2CO2. Instead आपको 2H positive रहेगा. Agreed? Plus 2 electrons. So इसके लिए Z factor Z1 हो गया, तो it will be equal to number of electrons per molecule equal to 2.
2.
Okay. The other equation is, already हमने ये याद भी किया है, K1O4 in acidic medium, band 153. So its Z factor will be 5. MnO4 minus, it is converting into Mn plus 2. So you need to add here 4H2O. You need to add here 8H positive. I think left hand side में आपको net charge +7 है, right hand side में +2 है. So you need to add 5 electrons. So the Z factor Z2 becomes 5. So you just need to know how to calculate the Z factors. Once you know the equation, you can easily calculate the Z factor. Agreed?
Awesome.
Okay. Solve this question then. The questions are easy. First question में तो आपको कुछ calculate करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. Please understand the question and tell me the answer. First of all, tell me this: what is millimole?
10 power minus 3 mole.
Millimole is nothing but molarity into
volume
volume in
milliliters.
ml, na?
हाँ सर.
So which is equal to 100 into 0.01, which is equal to 1. Okay.
Yes sir.
Number of equivalents is equals to number of moles into Z factor. So milli equivalents will be equal to millimoles into Z factor. Agreed? What is the Z factor for this reaction? What is the Z factor for this reaction? Anyone, please tell me. They're saying that Cr2O7 2 minus is converting into or reduced to Cr3 positive. What is the Z factor? Answer 9. 2 Cr3 पॉजिटिव होगा. यहाँ पे मुझे क्या ऐड करना पड़ेगा? 7H2O. यहाँ पे मुझे
14H plus
14H पॉजिटिव.
6
That
electrons.
time
6 होगा.
6 electrons ना. So the number of electrons per molecule of Cr2O7 2 minus कितना है? 6 है ना.
6.
So the Z factor is 6. So what will be the milli equivalents? 6 होगा ना.
6.
Agreed? Okay. और एक चीज याद रखना, irrespective of the medium, suppose if you don't know the medium, irrespective of the medium, the Z factor won't be changing.
हाँ
क्योंकि लैंडिंग में आप लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, इसको कुछ इफेक्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं ना. H पॉजिटिव हो या OH माइनस हो, लास्ट में इसको 14 OH माइनस ऐड करेंगे, इस साइड भी 14 OH माइनस ऐड करेंगे. Because of that, there will be no effect on number of electrons. So in general, if you don't know the medium, don't worry about how to calculate the Z factor. Irrespective of the medium, the Z factor will remain same. Okay, provided you know the product. You know the product. If you don't know the product, in different medium, the product may be different. Once you know the products, if they're not mentioning the medium, don't worry. Clear?
हाँ सर.
Everyone. Okay. Okay. Solve the next question. Solve this question.
0.03.
0.03. I don't think that's the right answer. Not the right answer.
सर एक बार रिएक्शन बताओ ना.
No need to know the reaction. Already आपको इसमें सब कुछ पता होना चाहिए. KMnO4, they are saying that acidified solution of KMnO4 in acidic medium. What is the Z factor of KMnO4? It is 5. मतलब KMnO4 जो है, it will be converting into Mn2 positive. Okay, band 153. You need to remember that. And FeSO4 में reaction में everyone आपको सोचना क्या है? You have FeSO4. One split this. FeSO4 has Fe plus 2 and SO4 2 minus. ये जो KMnO4 है, it is a powerful oxidizing agent. Everyone, KMnO4 and K2Cr2O7 are very good oxidizing agents. What is meant by oxidizing agent? दूसरे चीज को oxidize करेगा ना. In sulfate, what is the oxidation state of sulfur? It is +6.
+6.
If it is +6, it is already in its maximum oxidation state. So इसका कुछ नहीं होगा. Okay. So if it is in maximum oxidation state, Fe plus 2 जो है, it will be converting into
Fe3 plus.
Fe plus 3. Okay. Plus an electron. So what are the number of electrons exchanged per molecule of FeSO4?
1.
1. So what will be the Z factor of FeSO4? It will be 1. Okay.
सर
Yeah.
सर हमने देखा था कि FeSO4 का Z फैक्टर मतलब ओवरऑल चार्ज Fe2
नहीं नहीं नहीं, ओवरऑल चार्ज कब होगा? If it is acting like a salt and if there is some reaction. यहाँ पे redox हो रहा है ना?
हाँ सर.
Okay, this is an reducing agent. It is getting oxidized. This is the reducing agent. What is the Z factor for a reducing agent? It is the number of electrons exchanged per molecule. The reason for the reaction of this particular substance is because of the exchange of electrons. You need to see number of electrons exchanged per molecule. That is the Z factor. Okay. Is that clear?
हाँ सर.
So at end point, equivalence of reducing agent must be equal to equivalence of oxidizing agent. So you need to apply M1 V1
1 to 1.
Z1 equals to सही है M2 V2 Z2. What is the molarity? FeSO4 का वही find करना है ना. So M1 into what is the volume? 20
90.
into 1 must be equal to M2 कितना है? 0.02 24.3 and इसका Z factor कितना है acidic medium में? It is 5. Please remember that. BAN ban 153. In acidic medium it is 5. In basic medium in 1. Neutral or mildly alkaline medium it is 3. कभी कभी आपको basic medium में भी आपको 3 लेना पड़ता है because on long standing in basic medium also K2MnO4 जो है it converts into MnO2. Okay, please understand that. Remember that. आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा केमिस्ट्री में कुछ कुछ चीजें. 24.3 into आपको यहाँ पे 5 से मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. So M1 कितना हो जाएगा? No need to convert the volume in terms of liters क्योंकि लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में भी आपको ml, राइट हैंड साइड में भी आपको ml. This comes out to be 0.1215 molar. 0.1215 मोलर। किसी को आया क्या ये वाला?
हाँ
ओके, I hope this question is clear. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Okay. Next question. Understand the question and try to solve it. 1.51 gram of iron wire is dissolved in excess of dilute sulfuric acid and the solution made up to 250 ml. At 25 ml portion, A at नहीं A, यहाँ पे a 25 ml portion of this solution. A 25 ml portion of this solution was titrated using 0.02 molar KMnO4 solution, and its 25.45 ml was required to reach the endpoint. Determine the mass percentage of Fe in the wire. Analyze this question. Try to solve it.
KMnO4 solution acidic है basic.
यहाँ पे देखो, it is treated with dilute sulfuric acid ना, excess of dilute sulfuric acid. excess का मतलब क्या है? sulfuric acid ज्यादा में है and उसका 25 ml लिया है, मतलब उसके अंदर acidic solution ही होगा ना, and that is used with KMnO4. So in a way the solution overall will be acidic only.
हाँ सर.
Okay. So कभी आपको क्वेश्चन से आपको निकालना पड़ेगा वो.
हाँ सर.
Understand what is happening in the question. You have Fe wire that is introduced in H2SO solution. What will be the reaction? It will be converting into FeSO4. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
देखो जो भी Fe इसके अंदर है, the entire Fe is going inside FeSO4. So can I say the moles of Fe in the Fe wire must be equal to the moles of Fe in the FeSO4? And from
Yes.
every 1 mole of Fe, you are getting 1 mole of FeSO4. Answer. So moles of Fe must be equal to moles of FeSO4. You can estimate the moles of FeSO4 by titrating with KMnO4. उसका molarity आ जाएगा आपको. And the solution was made up to 250 ml. 25 ml portion of this solution. मतलब इस particular solution में जो भी molarity रहेगा FeSO4 का, उसका 25 ml में भी वही molarity होगा. Agreed? Okay. I am making this particular FeSO4 solution as 250 ml. और 250 ml में से 25 ml ले रहा हूँ. So entire solution will be having M molarity, and the 25 ml portion of it will also have M molarity. I am titrating that particular solution with KMnO4. Agreed? So I can say equivalence of FeSO4 must be equal to equivalence of KMnO4. Am I right? What are the equivalents of FeSO4? You are taking 25 ml into molarity into the Z factor is 1.
Yes.
अभी देखा हमने. Must be equal to equivalence of KMnO4 मतलब molarity is 0.02, volume is 25.45 into Z factor is 5. So please calculate the molarity.
0.1018.
Is 0.02 into 25.45 divided by 5. कितना आया?
0.1018.
0.1010.
So 18.
0.18. बाकी लोग please cross check. 0.02 into 25.45 divided by 5.
0.118.
1018 is 0.1018. Okay. यही molarity 250 ml solution का भी रहेगा. Agreed? So what are the moles of FeSO4? Moles is equals to molarity upon volume in liters. So moles of FeSO4, I am calculating this in 250 ml. Okay. Will be equal to molarity कितना है? 0.1018 divided by volume in liters will be 1/4. Agreed? So moles of FeSO4 कितना हो जाएगा? Equals to 0.4072. These will be exactly equal to moles of Fe. Any doubt, anyone? This multiplied by 56. कुछ गलत किया क्या मैंने कहीं पे?
सर मोल्स मोलैरिटी इनटू वॉल्यूम होंगे ना?
हाँ सर, आपने बाय वॉल्यूम किया है,
सॉरी
into 1/4.
मैं यहाँ पे
25.45.
फॉर्मूला ही गलत लिख दिया. Molarity is equals to moles upon volume in liters. Sorry. This has to be into 1/4. So कितना होगा इसका वैल्यू? 0.1018 divided by 4, which is 0.02545. So the moles of Fe will also be equal to 0.250
वॉल्यूम 250 होगा.
ml है. You need to substitute the volume in liters ना.
हाँ सर.
Volume in liters is 1/4 liters. Okay.
हाँ.
So what will be the mass of Fe?
into 56.
It is 0.02545 into 56 into 56, which is equal to 1.4252 grams. But actual iron wire का mass कितना है? 1.51 grams है ना?
हाँ सर,
So what will be the percentage purity of Fe or percentage Fe कितना है? It is 1.4252 upon 1.51 into 100. Which comes out to be 94.38%. The calculation comes out to be 94.38%. आया समझ में क्वेश्चन? हो क्या रहा है? Whenever I am treating the Fe wire with H2SO4, it is converting into FeSO4. That FeSO4 is reacting with K1O4 to form some products. You are estimating the FeSO4, the molarity of FeSO4 with the help of K1O4 titration. Okay, once you know the molarity, you can find the moles of FeSO4, which are exactly equal to the moles of Fe. From every 1 mole of Fe, you can form 1 mole of FeSO4. That's the logic. Is that clear?
हाँ सर.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will be आज यही पे end कर रहा हूँ मैं. We will be solving more and more questions on titrations, and we will be looking into volume strength. H2O2 में there is one more concentration term which is called as volume strength, because we also use H2O2 as a titrating agent. H2O2 is a good oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent in any of the medium. In acidic medium, basic medium, सब में देखा है ना उसका equation हमने. Okay. In case of H2O2, there is a new concentration term called volume strength. We will understand volume strength and we will try to do some questions on titrations with H2O2. Okay. In our next lecture.